Yes, everybody, how's it going? My name is Stephen Howson. This is Transfer Talk. Welcome back. Hope everyone's had a good day. I've had a dead good day, me, today. Me and that mad bastard, Jesus-looking motherfucker, Joe, have been over at Alex's golf course today and played a bit of golf. Because you can play golf. It's one of the things you can do. We're well shit. Don't think that needed saying, but maybe it did. We're proper shit. But there's a vlog coming out of it, and you can see that if you're in the Patreon group or Paddock memberships. There's also going to be... Excuse me, I just drank a drink really fast and I've got burps. There's going to be a head-to-head challenge which you can check out in Wednesday's fixture list video as well. So we'll be putting that out if you want to come and check it out. Someone's just put a comment in before we've gone live, and I am going to have to read it out, and it's from David Heyman. He says, thought I'd draw your attention that here in New Zealand, we have 0 active cases from 1,500 overall, and we will have crowds at our professional rugby and community football this weekend. Fucking go on, New Zealand. Fair fucking play. That is awesome. Well done. Everybody in New Zealand, that's amazing. Fair play to you. Unfortunately, isn't the crack over here? Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get cracking then. Donny van der Beek, we are going to be talking about right now. I haven't heard anything from anybody inside the club about what may or may not be happening with him. So let's just go on what the newspapers and that are saying at the moment. It says Manchester United are ready to hijack Real Madrid's plans to sign Donny van der Beek with a £49 million bid, according to the Sunday Times. Van der Beek is attracted to the Premier League and wants to establish himself at one of Europe's leading sides. He isn't willing to wait another year to join Madrid. That was in the Times. In the Mirror, they're saying that Ajax chief Edwin van der Sar has confirmed United and Real Madrid are interested in the international. And he said, this is Van der Sar, it's clear that clubs like United and Real Madrid are showing interest in Van der Beek. The communication between United and Ajax is very clear. Obviously, the CEO, Edwin van der Sar, has got close ties with Manchester United. The player supposedly wants his future decided, and Ajax are becoming a bit impatient with Madrid, but are open at selling him if they receive a good bid. Some pretty big news broke today, which is Van der Beek's agent informed Madrid of United's interest, but the Spanish giants didn't bat an eyelid and apparently were told, we're not signing anyone. Madrid have no plans to make big signings this summer, and that's coming out of Marca. Right. Marca are Real Madrid's mouthpiece. You've got to consider why these things come out. Did they come out because Marca want them to come out / Real Madrid want them to come out? Now, did they come out because that's the truth? They aren't going to sign anyone? Or did they come out because that's what Real Madrid want people to think? I think it's the latter, so I'm not getting excited with this one. I think United are being used very much like we was with Sergio Ramos, where we're a pawn to make other people move with zero intention of him coming. That being said, I think United's interest, judging by the amount of people that have come out and said it, I think United's interest is probably real. Now, the difference between interest being real and a signing happening is vast. It's my belief... Again, nobody's told me this. It's just me trying to join up dots that may or may not exist. I think that there's a list. And I think on that list is Grealish. I think on that list is Havertz. And I think on that list is Donny van der Beek. And there might even be more on that list. And I think United are going to be working down that list. Now, you guys can argue amongst yourselves about who you think is top of that list, bottom of that list, middle of that list. I think there's a list. And I think United are maybe working on multiple targets at the same time with the intention that they get one over the line. Everybody seems to say the Jack Grealish stuff is real. Everyone seems to say that the Havertz stuff is real. Everybody seems to say the Donny van der Beek stuff is real. So, for me, I think what's going to be interesting to this is who can we actually get? Who can we actually convince to join Manchester United? Who is actually top of our list? And let's see if we get them. I do find it very interesting that we are intent on looking at an attacking midfielder. Whether that's a more flamboyant goal-focused number 8 or an actual number 10 or whatever the hell you think it is. So, I think that means Solskjaer is about to swing the hammer on a couple of players. And if I was Andreas Pereira, I'd be looking over my shoulder. If I was Jesse Lingard, I'd be looking over my shoulder. If I was Juan Mata, he might get a stay of execution because he's probably going to retire in a year. That's what I think. What do you think? Is it going to happen? Do you think there's a list? Do you agree, disagree? let us know in the old commentos. Next up on the list is Martinez. Let's get him on the screen. Ooh, there we go. So, United and Real Madrid aren't signing anyone. United and Real Madrid are monitoring the Inter Milan forward situation after talks over move to Barcelona stalled. And that was in Marca today. Same Marca that said Real Madrid aren't signing someone. Well played, lads. Can't even fucking have your left hand talk to your right hand. It's reported that Barcelona have already held extensive talks to sign him and potentially even agreed a deal in principle, but Barca's finances have taken a huge hit following the pandemic in Spain, and the club have already asked their players to take a pay cut for the second time. Barca are reluctant to pay his £97.5 million release clause. Senior ESPN writer Gabriel Marcotti said this: Inter don't get to choose where he goes. He has a release clause. All someone has to do is show up with the money, and if he wants, he goes and joins them. It might be beneficial to Inter if they find themselves in a situation where things drag out beyond the moment when his release clause expires, which I believe is mid-July. They might have to sell him to the highest bidder. They're already thinking in terms of plan B and what to do if he does leave. With regards to United, it's reported that the club have made an approach to sign him, and he has been in good form this year with 16 goals in 31 appearances. For me, don't cut it. For me, I don't think that's what United are looking for in a centre-forward, and I don't think he works. I don't think it works for United. I don't think he's a sort of player. I don't think he's a style of play that we look to, and for £97.5 million fucking pound, it's a no for me. We roll with Marshall, we roll with Igalo, we roll with Greenwood. Between them, for £97.5 million fucking pound, much rather have them free than Martinez. Much rather have them. Much rather leave what we've got up front, bring in like a Sal Niguez, maybe even a defender. Definitely get Sancho over the line, look to midfield, look to defence before centre forward. Centre forward, it's not the priority, I don't think. Yeah, and as Joel says in the comments, not happening. We all know he's joining Barcelona. I mean, these stalls, is it Barcelona going, oh, we're skint, can we get him a bit cheaper? Games. And the final one that we're going to be talking about tonight, Jude Bellingham. Boosh. Basically, if I was rating these, I'd be saying free transfers that aren't fucking happening for United, lads. The Birmingham City star would rather move to Borussia Dortmund instead of Manchester United, according to the Birmingham Mail today. Fair. United's interest in Havertz has put doubt in people's minds over how serious interest in Bellingham is. How the fuck are they the same thing? He is 16 years of age. I mean, Havertz ain't exactly old, but he's 16 years of age. He should not... Right. This isn't like he's 16 years of age and, oh my fucking God, he's terrorised the championship. He's been good with the frame that he's 16 years of age. He's been really fucking well for being 16. Some potential in the kid. Not, oh my fucking God, he's the best player in the league and he's 16. It's not been that. It's been, there's a lot of potential in that kid. I wonder what he could get to. Unlike Kai Havertz, where you go, oh my fucking God, how good is he? How is that the same position? Right, so they're saying it's rumoured that the club could sign both players and loan Jude Bellingham back to Birmingham to continue his development before him coming back to push for more first-team football. That makes sense to me. Continue your development. He's not ready to play week in, week out for Manchester United. I don't think there's anybody that would sit here and argue the opposite to that. Another thing to note about the situation is that the manager who gave Bellingham his breakthrough this season, Pep Clotet, is leaving Birmingham at the end of this season, whenever that ends up being. Following the news today, it's also been reported that Jude Bellingham's father is pushing for his son to move to Borussia Dortmund. Of course he is. He saw what's happened with Sancho and gone, get me some of that shit. They reckon his father's eager for him to follow Jadon Sancho's lead and join Borussia Dortmund, where he's going to get more senior football, and he's convinced that Dortmund is the better option between the German side and United, considering the talent that we already have in midfield. I think it's also just an easier league with less pressure on you. You join Manchester United and shit is just a different level. You join Borussia Dortmund, they're an exciting team, everybody likes watching them. You're probably going to stand out most weeks when you're doing pretty well. You're probably in the Champions League. Come on, mate. Of course it makes sense to go to Borussia Dortmund. Of course it makes sense. I can't even give you a single reason why you wouldn't go to Dortmund over United. The main one being, he's not ready to start for Manchester United yet. I don't even know if he's ready to start for Dortmund yet, but guess what? He gets that opportunity a lot faster than he gets it at United. A lot faster. A lot faster. So there you go. That was the news for today. Let's see what you guys are saying in the old comments. Is Bellingham another Odegaard? Well, what do you mean by that? Because Odegaard had a stupid move to Real Madrid. Nobody looked at that and went, that's a great move for him going to Real Madrid at fucking 16 or 17, was he, when he went? He's obviously going to play loads week in, week out. And he didn't. And he looked like his career was fucked. Then he goes out on loan. And I think he went to Holland last year. Then he's gone to La Liga this year. And he looks great. That's maybe what he should have done in the first place. Do I think Mengi will make his debut this season? He started to train with the first team today, it seems. I'll fucking text him in a bit and find out what the crack is. Do I think the Saul ship has sailed? Absolutely not. Could Saul work as the pivot behind Bruno and whoever? I think so. What's happening with Sancho? No updates. I think it's just crack on and see what the script is. Does the Van der Beek deal mean Pogba is actually off this season? I think it probably would, to be honest. I think it probably would. Yeah. How good is Teden Mengi? Teden's awesome. Teden's an absolute fucking beast. Very, very good footballer. Very fucking aggressive. Yap Stam style of centre-half, I would say. Very, very, very good. Lewis says, I think Ollie is set on McTominay being the 6. I think you're probably right, mate, to be honest with you. I do. He can work as an 8 as well, depending. If you was having McTominay as your 6, that's in a game that you're expecting to probably dominate possession quite heavily. You come up against Liverpool, maybe City, one of those sort of games. You might switch it to have maybe Bruno, but behind him you might have Matic and McTominay. Or you might have Matic and Fred, or you might have McTominay and Fred. You can mix it up. That's what I like to see, that we're rolling with flexibility. You don't know how United are going to come at you, and that's a good thing. Have I seen the news about the transfer window being open till October? Yes, I like that. Darcy says, Timbo as the number 6. Tim needs to get his career back on track. I love that he played in that game the other day. I think that's fantastic. But I would like to see him... given some opportunities, because his career's massively halted with a couple of injuries and some bad loans. How many signings do I think we'll make during the summer? Not a clue. Do I reckon Laird will be next? Laird should be next. Yeah, I think Laird will be next. Should United try and get our players loaned out to higher tier teams instead of Championship teams or Scottish teams to build a relationship for transfers? Maybe that's what a good director of football does, where you can see them out at clubs and getting regular game time and actually treated properly. The loans are such a gamble. Honestly, it's like flipping a coin whether it's going to be successful or not. You really need a good relationship long term with a club, regardless of who's in the current manager, that your players get some game time. Can we still get Sancho if we sign Van der Beek? I think so. Are we really considering out loaning Dan James? Not a clue. Not a clue. Who's the bad apples Ollie's talking about? Not a clue. Why would I know that? 4-4-2 for the rest of the season. Hey, how's that work? Do you know what? Yeah, actually, in a diamond, I think it might work. Yeah, I think it might work. Grealish or Van der Beek. For me, I think Grealish, shown by the fact that he was an arsehole in lockdown, I think that arsehole can bring out a little bit of an X factor, and I think in that position you've got to be a bit brave, sometimes a bit reckless, and I think Grealish is that, to be honest. I think he's got that sort of confident. Dan says, yeah, if Real Madrid can't afford Van der Beek, they definitely ain't affording Pogba. Exactly. For anyone saying that ship has sailed on all sorts of different players, I'm not sure I agree with you, to be honest, because I think that there's all sorts of stuff still in play. All sorts of stuff. If the window's open for another 4 months, Not one ship has even fucking lifted its anchor yet, let alone sailed. Will Axel push his way into the starting lineup next season? He could have done it this season. Injuries is what's going to be the issue with Axel. If Axel can sort his injuries out, there is a 5-star potential player in there, honestly. Realistic loan move for Garner or Levitt, somewhere like a Fleetwood, something like that. Fleetwood, Accrington, they'd kill it there. Yeah. Hasn't Van der Beek played at a higher level in the Champions League than Grealish? So, you better. Andreas Pereira's played for Brazil. Would you have Grealish over him? Would you have had Grealish over him last year when Grealish was in the Championship over him? Because you fucking probably should have done. How is Fred going to fit into the squad next year? There'll be games. We're going to play we're in every cup, aren't we? We're in all the cup competitions and we go fairly deep in all them cup competitions. There'll be plenty. There will be plenty. Why don't the club just let Sanchez go on a free? We'd save 20 million his wages alone. Because he has a contract with us. And you can't just go, guess what, do one. He has a contract. He can make us honour that contract. He has to find somewhere that's going to make him do it. Grealish has personality and character. Yeah, I like that. Why won't the club just let Sanchez go on a free? We've seen that one. Do I think it's Sancho or Havertz? Not sure why we'd sign both. I think it is both, yeah. I think the FA Cup semis will still be in an empty Wembley. Yeah, I do, actually, yeah. I do think they will be, yeah. It's going to be fucking weird, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. Is Van der Beek a cheaper option to Grealish and Kai? I think Grealish, especially if Villa go down, can be gotten quite cheaply, to be honest with you. I don't think he's a crazy price. Yeah, does Romero leave if Henderson isn't loaned out next season? Maybe. Maybe it's time for him to come play some fucking football, innit? Righty then. Cheers for tuning in as usual, everybody. Hope you're well. Go check out the Patreon. There's going to be another watch along posted. There was a podcast posted last night, and you're also getting another video this week once it's edited, which is of the behind the scenes of me and Joe going playing golf today. And I swear to God, you need to go see it. It's going to be fucking hilarious, is what it's going to be. But make sure you go check that out. It's going to be epic. It was so much fun today, honestly. And we're taking suggestions for what you want to see us go and do next. What other sports? I'm wondering, can we get onto monster trucks? Yeah, it does say Bellingham's at Cardiff. Do you know what you need to do? You need to tweet at Cam Waters and go give him some shit. Cheers for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you're staying safe. Sounds like we might be in the pub again sooner rather than later, so there's something to look forward to. Like the video. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.